One of the most controversial names of the last few years in college football has been Spencer Rattler. One of the highest ranked high school recruits of all time, in an awesome freshman season at Oklahoma, Rattler had some serious first overall pick buzz at one time. But as time passed on, Rattler showed some serious struggles at Oklahoma, and it was an ugly end to how his time with the Sooners came. He decided to enter the transfer portal, and he ended up in South Carolina, where he has spent the last 2 years. Many people wrote him off, but believe it or not, Spencer Rattler has been a pretty solid quarterback for the Gamecocks and has kind of turned his career around. While he no longer has that first round buzz, today I'm going to be talking about what makes him an intriguing prospect and why he is a guy I would take a chance on in the 2024 NFL Draft. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and let's take a closer look at Spencer Rattler. 2022 was Rattler's first season with South Carolina. He finished with 3,026 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. His numbers weren't amazing, but they still weren't terrible. In 2023, Rattler had 3,186 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and he showcased some nice skills on the year, and is a guy who I think has some really nice upside. Rattler has a lot of the tools that you look for. For one, I love his ability to escape the pocket. He moves around the pocket well, and he does a nice job of evading pressure, keeping his eyes up the field, and extending plays with his legs. He was absolutely running for his life in 2023 because South Carolina had such a bad offensive line, but he showed that he had the ability to extend plays, run the football a little bit, and make plays with his legs. I thought he was a really nice athlete, and I like to see that. Rattler also has good arm strength. He has the ability to throw the ball in all 3 levels, and he has really nice throwing mechanics. He was especially talented in the short to intermediate passing game. He had some nice zip on his passes in the short game, and he showed some very nice upside there. Rattler just looks very comfortable in the pocket. He has confidence, he has composure, and he has really nice mechanics in his footwork, and I like his throwing motion. He has a lot of upside and potential, but there are some areas people don't like. There are some concerns with Rattler both on and off the field. For one, he's had a history of maybe not being the greatest teammate in the world. He might not be a guy that you want in your locker room, and many have called him selfish in the past. That's not something that you want in your locker room, and there have been a lot of stories that have come out about Rattler, especially at his time at Oklahoma, which may not be a good look for him. On the field, Rattler's deep ball accuracy is a bit choppy. He had the tendency to overthrow and occasionally underthrow his receivers at times, and I want to see him add a little bit more touch on his deep ball passing. Just be a little bit more precise because he's got the arm talent, he's got the arm strength, but he just needs to be more consistent in showing that he can do it. Lastly, under pressure, I feel that Rattler's decision making can be very, very suspect. He has 20 interceptions over the last 2 seasons, which is not ideal in the slightest. He has the tendency to try and force the football into very tight windows, and when he's under pressure, his decision making process is just not great. I want to see him be more consistent because Rattler has a lot of the athletic tools, he's got the arm strength, he's got the upside. We just need to see more consistency from him if he is going to be a starting quarterback. Rattler is a very polarizing player. A nice week here in Mobile and a good pro day / combine I think could really help his draft stock. But as of right now, he is my number 8 quarterback in the class. Like I've said a million times, I like his tools, but there are some serious concerns in his game. I think he is higher on my board than most people would have him, and he is my number 113 player in the class. Rattler is tricky. I like the idea of him in a West Coast style offense. He is great in the short to intermediate passing game, and he has good command of the offense. I think this is where you could get the most out of him in the NFL, but he is a bit of a more athlete than a game manager. I think he could be in an RPO offense where he might be able to take off a little bit. I think he could develop into a solid starter, and I think right now he's a game manager, but due to his athleticism, I could see him being a little bit more than that at the next level. Rattler kind of reminds me a bit of Dak Prescott. In terms of frame, Dak is the bigger quarterback, but both Rattler and Dak have pretty solid accuracy for the most part, and they're able to move around in the pocket, extend plays, and turn it into positive yardage. They both also have the tendency to collapse under pressure, force the ball in tight windows, and turn the ball over. I think Rattler, as of right now, is going to be a backup quarterback in the NFL, but I think he has the upside to be a starter in the NFL, and I could see where he has a Dak type of career. Dak is still a great quarterback. Let's not let the lack of playoff success fool you. I could see Rattler being a good quarterback. Spencer Rattler was written off by the media and all the fans, and he didn't write back. He showcased his abilities in the SEC, and he played well for the most part. Yes, he has turnover concerns, but ultimately, I think Spencer Rattler will be selected between rounds 3 and 5 in the 2024 NFL Draft.